Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I've decided to do something a little bit different today. I've discovered an absolute gem of a lobby. It's the Bertha Grand Prix. It makes for some really good racing. The only drawback is it's not very popular, so sometimes it can be a bit hard to get a decent lobby going. So here we go, we're going into the first turn. We've got a guy up on my left hand side there. He's trying to get a run alongside, but he got the poor momentum coming out of that corner. He's made a bit of a shoddy move, but he's made it work. Looks like he's making some more contact again. Forced his way through. The guy in the Ferrari's completely lost it now because of that. I'm going to keep it nice and narrow, not push too hard. It's easy to run wide at this corner, and he's done that. I've just moved into that little empty space there. And I should be just about clear now. And set my sights on the next guy. We've definitely moved a bit closer to the main pack now. I've decided to go for the Alpha 158, and I managed to get a nice little livery. Lovely livery. Seemed like a kind of Bugatti blue. It's not the best car in the class. I think the best car, from what I can see looking at the leaderboards, the Maserati 250F seems to be the leaderboard car in this class. Now there's a couple of people going wide. I nearly followed them. Very easy to do, especially in these cars. You kind of it's easy to get air at that corner if you're not careful with these cars. They are quite light, and this is what it's all about, isn't it? Real four-wheel drive drifting, just balancing the car on the power, mid-engine, engine at the back, and just balancing the car on the throttle. That's what this class is all about, and it's really good fun when you can get a bit of that going on. And you get quite a lot of wet races, I've noticed, in this class, in this division, and that's even more fun. You get a bit of that. So we've managed to catch up with this guy ahead now. We've definitely brought that gap right down. I drift a little bit wide, very easy to do in these cars again. So I'm just going to be really cautious here. Keep it nice and narrow. He's made that mistake that I talk about, and I'm going to put it into that space. Very difficult to race these cars closely, but we've just about managed to give each other space, and most importantly of all, to not get his wheels interlocked. It looks like he's had a bit of a poor exit there. He's got some poor momentum coming out of that corner, and I'm just about clear. But yeah, like I say, it's a real gem of a find, is this division. I did try to do it before a while ago, but I could never find a lobby that had well, hardly anybody in it really. If there was one going at all, you might be getting maybe one or two people in it, which is a shame, because you know, it can produce some great racing, it can produce some really bad racing. I've seen some really bad racing. You tend to the thing that tends to happen is you get your wheels interlocked, and it causes quite a little bit of chaos. So it's either good racing or entertaining racing, but either way I like a bit of butt off, to be honest with you. So judging by the proximity error, the guy that I passed just recently has managed to catch back up. He made that mistake coming out of the corner. He got it sideways, which is easy to do, but he's caught back up again now, and I've made that mistake of drifting wide. That's, again, it's really easy to do. It's easy to get it sideways, it's easy to drift wide. The hard cars to drive, they really are. So I've lost that position again, so we're going to have to go back on the attack now. I think he's in, is it the P3 by the looks of it? I'd say that's probably, judging by the leaderboards, I think that's the second best car that you can choose. Mine's about the third, so I will be slightly slower in this car, but we're doing okay so far. Again, he's taking that wide line, I've taken the narrow line, trying to hang it around the outside, really close to binning it there, but I just managed to keep it on the black stuff. I'm looking to get the cut back now. I may have drifted a little bit too far wide to get a decent cut back, but I have got a run. It's going to be hard to do anything about it though. except he has drifted wide again, so now I can really look down the inside. We've got the good momentum coming out of that corner though. I tend to use longer gears at the minute. Tuning these cars are fairly simple, but the one thing that I have struggled with is trying to get the gearing right. You only get 4 gears, and first is really you need it as a decent launch, something that's going to set off well. And we're coming to the end of the race. There's not a lot I can do now unless he makes a really big error. I think he's pretty much got this one in the bag. And here we go across the line. It's not a bad finish. Very close at the end there. Second place for me. It could have been a first, but I'm quite happy to finish second. It was a decent racing, very clean, very fair, and I'm very happy with that. It's nice to have the pace back again. I've been toying with stock car racing quite a bit recently in C class and whatnot and B class, but here we go, on to the next race. We're at Long Beach. Long Beach, I find I've had a couple of good races recently at Long Beach. I think both in this division does seem to produce some exciting racing, I'll say. I do like this track. I've had to put on the driving line, I'm ashamed to say, to admit, but yeah, as you can see I've got the driving line on there, but it's just so difficult at Long Beach. Sometimes it can be really difficult to sight your braking points. I've got the German guy here, he's pressuring me and he's succeeded in pressuring me into making a mistake, and he's managed to get past me there. He's got quite a lot of pit as this guy did turn out. He was new to this lobby, but yeah, it turns out he had about a second a lap. And you see there, just on the exit of the corner, I just took a picture. Yeah, you really have to push it really close to the wall to get the best out of these cars. And yeah, I just took a little picture. They are really photogenic, these cars. It's a really good class to take pictures in. It's got a good run here. I was keen to get my position back quickly. I wasn't happy that I'd made that mistake and lost the position, but as it turns out, as like I say, he did have very good pace. Did this German guy, he had very good pace, as it turns out. But still very close racing. Still, as you can see, somebody makes a bit of an error. The guy in the grey car there, he's made a bit of an error, but just about managed to get a good exit out of that corner so that I can pass him. Definitely too far back to make a move at this point. Yeah, you see here I've got the braking line. It really does help. You see I just nailed that braking point. It's really difficult. Long Beach is one thing, is Long Beach is very difficult to get your braking points right. And I didn't want to make many mistakes and end up hitting somebody. It is simulation damage in this division, so really don't really want to be missing braking points and hitting somebody. If you just miss, if you just kind of don't quite, just miss, don't see your braking point, you just miss it, and it's just a concrete tunnel really, and you can miss your braking point completely and not realise, and before you know it, you're just going straight into the back of somebody. I didn't want to do that, so I've had to put on braking line just to be on the safe side. I am quite new to this class, so again, as you can see here, the racing is really close. We've got a few different types of cars. I think we've got a P3. Looks like maybe somebody else is using the 158, same as me. But yeah, we've got 4 different cars here, and barely 100 feet between them. All 4. Looks like the German guy has made a bit of a mistake. I was still keen to get my position back at this point, but again, he knows how to get a good launch out of that hairpin. Good drive, sorry, out of that hairpin. I think that's where he's really making up ground. Like I was saying, the gears are really crucial to get your gears right. The ratios in this car, it's really crucial. At first I was going for long gears. I was taking my first gear as a usable first gear. I mean, I toyed with the idea of just having the first gear as a setting off gear. So just not using it, I wouldn't use it apart from for setting off, just use it at the start of the race, and then for hairpins and whatnot I'd use my second gear as the first gear, essentially. Use the second gear as the slow corner gear, and then having really short gears right up to fourth, and then just having fourth so it just take me up to my top speed. And it did seem to work, because with these cars the crucial thing really is having the right amount of drive off of the corner. So you want to use a lot of torque, not too much though. So if say you have long gears, you might be coming out of the corner in second and it may be too long or it may be too short. If you've got very close ratioed gears, it's not about being in the power band, essentially. It's just about having the right amount of drive. Say for example coming out of that corner, just having that right amount of drive where you're not spinning the wheels but you're not bogging down either, and that is the real crucial thing. So I found that having short gears you were able to select to be in a better gear for every different type of corner, but it is difficult to get that right. And in the end I decided to go for long gears. You can hear, especially at Long Beach, you know, I'm having the first gear as a usable gear. Right, looks like we've got a position anyway. Well, that's one position at least. Gone up into a podium position there. I'm just going to try and hold on to this one for the last lap. But yeah, in the end I do tend to go for long gears ordinarily, and have the first gear as a usable. A lot of people don't have the first gear as something that you can use very often. I like to have a first gear you can use quite a lot, and I don't really get right up to the fourth gear very often in this car now. So I'm just trying to hold on to that position. I'm feeling a little bit of pressure. I made a mistake. It looks as though, judging by his speed, that he did the same thing as me, pushed a little bit too hard trying to come out of that corner. So I should be able to hang on now as long as I don't brake a little bit too late. And try not to drift wide here. Is very close judging by the proximity arrow, although it did drop off slightly. Gonna try and get the best exit I can. That's a nice line, kept it really close up to the wall, and I got a good launch out of that corner, that hairpin, thanks to my long first gear. And there we go, that's the end of the race. And it's been really good fun. I like this class. I wish there were more people that was wanting to do it, so that, you know, you could have a little bit more, you know, bit of a bigger lobby. It'd be nice. 6 people really in a lobby. It's not really good, and you know, it's not enough really. But saying that, you know, you could have a 24 car lobby, and a lot of the times you won't have 4 people up at the front battling for the lead, or at least very close to each other. So, you know, it's not too bad, but it would be nice to see a few more people getting into this lobby. I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video now, and I hope you've enjoyed watching it. I definitely enjoyed making it and doing this race. It's been a really good one, and looking forward to doing a bit more soon. Maybe do a bit of C-Class first. I've got a really good BMW tune, no aero, but it's still really quick. I want to get into that. But anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye.